Welcome to the channel, everyone. Today we're diving into Love is Blind Season 2, Sweden. Love is Blind Sweden Season 2. And specifically, we're going to be talking about this one character named Ola. So let's dive into why I personally think Ola is a narcissist, and I truly believe he is, and all the ways in which he behaves in this show that shows us that he is a classic narcissist. Alright, let's start. So, the number one thing I think Ola exhibits that shows us his narcissism is control. Ola loves to control his partner. And how can we tell that he does this? First, when he meets Millie for the first time, the number one thing he brings up about her appearance is he says, your hair. And then she touches her hair and he says, I like it. And she's like, really? And he says, yes. But Ola doesn't mean what he's saying, because Ola actually doesn't like Millie's hair. He really doesn't. And he mentions this later in the show when he brings up the hair and brings up the fact that he likes long, thick, black hair like his mommy. He says he likes his mom's hair, and that he remembers her when she was younger and she had this long, thick black hair, and that's what he imagines femininity looks like, and he wants a woman with thick, black, long hair. And Millie has a short pixie cut, blonde, which she looks amazing in, but that's not what Ola prefers. And so he brings it up later and he tells her he doesn't like it. So he's doing this with a hope that Millie's going to change her hair, because he said he doesn't like it. He likes long black hair that's thick. But Millie says, I've always had this hair. This is the hair I've had since I was 5 years old. And you can just see on his face how disappointed he is and trying to mask it with like, oh, okay. But you can just tell how he wanted her to change to become this woman with the long hair that he prefers, right? The second thing that he tries to control about Millie is her eating habits. And this was very clear throughout the show. He had a problem with how she was drinking, how she was smoking, and he had a problem with what she was choosing to eat. Ola eats cleanly, I guess, and he would have preferred if Millie was also eating cleanly, but Millie was having her soda, Millie was having her drinks with the rest of the people, Millie was having a cigarette, maybe behind the scenes, because I didn't see her smoking on the show, but he brought this up to her, and she would bring it on camera, and she would ask him, like, you had a problem with the soda, you had a problem with the burger, and he would make certain comments. There was this part of the show where they were having breakfast, and she went to the buffet and she got her plate and she put several things on it, and she was sitting down to eat her burger, and this guy just looks at her plate and says, do you always eat breakfast like that? Is that what you always have for breakfast? And the condescending tone, it was just, are you serious right now? The nerve of this man to think for 1 second that he can be the judge and jury of what she puts in her body. And the fascinating thing about this is whenever he would disapprove of Millie, he would blame it on his body. He would say, my body feels, my body doesn't agree. My body gives me a feeling that it's not in agreement with what you eat. When you eat this, my body feels a certain way. It's like, how does your body feel something when I eat? Am I crazy? Like, what type of connection are you getting there between what I put in my body and your body? Like, this was just... Anyway, so he was making these comments about what she was eating to try and change and control what she was consuming to kind of match what his lifestyle was. And he said that. He said, I want somebody who's gonna, embrace my lifestyle and join me on my lifestyle. And it's like, okay, But if you're the, healthy one and the one who eats cleanly, why do you look so dry? Why is your skin so dry, Ola? I mean, I would imagine the person who is the epitome of fitness and good nutrition should have glowing skin. This man looks drier than the Sahara in midsummer. I mean, this man was ashy the whole time. He was the most ashy one. He had the most wrinkles on his face. He said he's never used sunscreen. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that later. But he said he has never used a sunscreen drippity drop. And let me tell you something, Ola. We can tell. Okay, it's not surprising at all. So yeah, all of this was in hopes that she would change herself for him. And this is all control. This is all Ola trying to control Millie. Okay? All right, so let's go to the next thing, which is triangulation. I think Ola is great at this because when he, bombarded Millie with her eating choices and how he disapproves of that, and she was like, you know what, I'm going to have my soda and I'm going to have my fries. Okay, I don't care. I was like, Millie, eat your fries, girl. Eat your fries. Millie looks great. I would expect, as a person who gives advice, you would pick people to give advice to, and they would be the ones that look like they need help. Millie does not look like she needs help with her weight. Okay, Millie does not look like she needs help with her food choices. Millie looks like she makes deliberate choices, and she probably works out, and she probably lives healthily and balances it all out, and she looks great. Her skin is glowing. Why is why is your skin not glowing, Ola? I have a problem with that. There's something not clicking here, because if you have the best nutrition and you are the meditating master, you should be radiating from within. And sir, you will never be cast for a skincare commercial. I promise you that. It's never going to be happening because you look dry. You look like you need a moisturizer. Okay? And so he was trying to control that, and when he couldn't control it, he brought in his friend. And this friend just came in to co-sign everything that Ola was saying. So basically, it was an intervention to try and get Millie to change her mind and now drop everything she was eating and start eating cleanly like he does. And this never worked because Millie, I think, continued to eat the way she was always eating. But it was so funny how it was just a classic narcissist move to bring in more ammo so that he wins this fight with Millie and she does what he says. So yeah, that was the second one I noticed. It was the triangulation. Okay, so the third thing I noticed about Ola is his grandiosity. Okay. He loves himself and he thinks he is the authority to a lot of things, and he knows best and he knows everything, and he's more in tune to wisdom and knowledge than everybody else. And so he would always hide behind this spirituality cloak where he would just, because he's meditating all the time, he's working barefoot and, grounding himself, he's carrying crystals around, and I believe up his ass as well. Mind my French, but that he looks like he's carrying crystals somewhere that is not comfortable. Anyway, so yeah, he was doing all this spiritual practice stuff, and because of that, everybody, and especially the guys when they were interacting with him, they always went to him for advice and as a sounding board because they thought he knows better because he's in tune with his body and and his spirit, right? And that made Ola have this sense of like, I am the leader, I am the big bro of everybody here, and I know best, and I listen to my body. This body thing, I mean, like, let's go to the next thing because this just ties in really well with it. It's his lack of accountability. He would use his body to be the reason why he's making certain decisions. And it's not your body, Ola. It's you. It's you. You're just using your body as a shield so that you don't take accountability for the decision you're actually about to make. So when did he do this? He was doing this when he was blaming his body for, feeling something when Millie was eating the wrong things. So instead of saying, I don't like it when you eat these foods and it bothers me, he would say, it does something to my body when you eat those things. What? How? Why? I don't understand the correlation between my eating habits and your body. It doesn't make any sense to me when he would say stuff like that. But again, it's because he doesn't want to take accountability for what he feels and how he actually thinks that he would use this body thing to kind of not really mask, but separate himself from being the person who is doing this, being the person who is thinking this. It's not me, it's my body. It's my body that feels this way when you do this. It's my body that it doesn't sit well with me when you do this and when you don't conform and wear long hair like my mom. It's my body that feels this way. So he was kind of separating himself from that accountability where he would be, taking responsibility for how he actually feels. The other example would be when he would critique Millie on her appearances. So her hair, her eating choices, and saying that she has all this trauma because she's masking the trauma with the eating choices and her drinking and blah, blah. And Millie finally called him out on it. He basically did not apologize to her at all. He said he was just being honest. As if being honest cannot be hurtful, right? You can be honest and be hurtful. Those two things can exist at the same time. But because he's saying, I'm honest, he doesn't feel a sense of accountability to, apologize to Millie. And I thought that was classic narcissistic behavior because, God forbid a narcissist takes accountability and apologizes for hurting your feelings. That never happens. Unless it serves them to apologize to you. But in this situation, Ola, he loves himself and he is the master of all. So, absolutely not. He will not apologize for being honest. But everything he did say about Millie was highly critical and really mean. And he kept repeating it over and over again. And it would be obvious that he was hurting her feelings. But he didn't see that. For all the reflection that you do, Ola, it's really surprising that you don't see how you hurt people around you and how you are with others. And because he makes no mistakes, let's go to our next point, which is his extreme self-love and just, complete awe of himself. Narcissists love themselves. They love themselves. And Ola was just always constantly bringing this up, how he is the most important person to himself, how it matters to him whether his needs are met the most, and he wants to be the one who his partner joins in his lifestyle, and him, me, basically. All right, so those are just the examples that I saw. I'm sure maybe you saw more. If you saw any examples, please put them in the comments below, because this man it was just a walking, talking example of a narcissist. And I'm sure there's other things that appeared on the show that I did not mention on this breakdown. But leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. And I will be back for the next one later. I hope to see you guys there. Bye-bye for now.